the players who didn't make the trip, their status?
Well, under the Michigan laws, of the privacy of the student athlete, the only thing I can reveal to you guys is right now we're dealing with a medical issue, and my prayers are and more, not only just my prayers, but my heart is with our players, and hopefully they get healthy soon.
Okay, can you still hear me if I could follow up on that?
Yes.
Thank you. I guess, what was it like assembling your kind of plan for this game, knowing that you'd be so shorthanded?
Oh, all hands on deck. And with the 8 guys, I felt we had plenty to go out here and compete and get a victory. Unfortunately, we came up short, but I love how all 8 guys competed tonight. We practiced all week. Without those guys, they're not here. We had really good prep leading up to this moment.
Anybody next? Feel free to fire away, guys.
Juwan, I know some of the perimeter shots that they hit were certainly tough and contested, but overall, what did you think of the 3-point defense tonight?
Yeah, they hit some bombs, man. I mean, some deep, deep threes. And they hit them early. And of course, that generated some confidence within those players, as well as it got the fans into it. There are also some times where we did have a defensive breakdown to allow some open threes. But those are teachable moments, and we'll continue to keep teaching and growing. I trust we will get better and clean up in those areas. Truly, yes. I know it's documented. People are saying it. I'm sure they are. I'm guessing that they are. We will learn how to finish games. We will, and I trust we will.
Yeah, Juwan, down the stretch, you guys were able to get some offensive possessions to go, but you couldn't get the stops on defense. What did you think of your defensive execution there?
Like I just touched on, there were some moments where whether a guy got open, they truly made the shot. Whether he had a defensive breakdown, the ball swung to that player that was open, he made the shot. It's been like that throughout the year. I'm looking at the Central Florida game and the North Carolina game, Minnesota game. But we'll get better. I know we will. And our guys are working hard and growing and getting better and better game by game.
Juwan,
Anybody?
Devontae's had a few games of steady improvement and seemed to have a more difficult night tonight. What did you see from him, and what steps do you think he needs to take there?
Oh, he had a tough night, 0 for 3. But I trust he'll have a better night next game. We'll have games like that throughout the season. He wants to play a solid, perfect game like all they do. All the players want to game by game, but how the basketball gods work, no one can control it. But what you can control is effort. And what I thought was he did still play with some effort. That's what you can control is effort.
Juwan, do you have an idea if any of the guys that weren't here tonight will be available for the weekend?
Let me think about this game right here. I'm not even thinking about what's going to happen for this weekend. If you learn and be around me long enough, I take it one game at a time, game by game. I don't look ahead. I just hope and pray that I wake up tomorrow, and all of us do, including you, especially during these tough, challenging times.
Hey, Juwan. Curious, when facing adversity like this, both in the results and the circumstances of the roster, I imagine something like leadership is kind of a big piece that you're looking for right now. And I wonder if you can kind of describe what you're seeing right now internally in terms of who's taking on those roles, who are the voices kind of inside that are kind of taking this thing by the gears.
I feel we have the best leader in college basketball, and that's Eli Brooks. That guy is our leader. He's been our leader last year. He's taken on that role and accepted it this year. His teammates Love hearing from him because he's like another coach out there on the floor, another coach in practice. He gives so much to the team, night in and night out, every day in practice, with his effort, his voice. He knows the system. He knows what we ask of our players from offensive end and defensive end. He also knows what his job and responsibility is too. I thought our leadership has been improving with Hunter. He's another one that is starting to get uncomfortable with himself and get out of his comfort zone because he's not always the most vocal guy, but he's learning and growing how to become more vocal. And so, we have leadership on the team, and it's so easy to try to point out what's missing for this group. No leadership, no shooting, no defense. I have so much positive, I see so many great things of what this team is growing to become. And I'm all in with this group. I'm not going to be that coach. I've seen and heard coaches point the finger at players, blame players, and wondering why who recruited them and stuff like that. You're never going to hit it for me because I know I'm in the trenches with these guys, and losing wherever it is. We're family.
Thanks.
Anybody have anything else?
Juwan, as far as your team's 3-point shooting, I guess, how do you make sure that the game isn't won or lost solely by your 3-point shooting? Because so far, as far as the stats, that's kind of how it's gone.
No, it's we don't focus on 3-point shooting or whatever. We just probably play a solid game. And what I seen from the stats is we took care of the basketball, and we only had 8 turnovers, and that's big right there. That's where I see growth.
And last thing for me,
Finishes in the paint, and I see a lot of growth there. We also execute on the offensive end. We executed out of timeouts. We are growing as a group, getting better and better.
thank you. Last one from me is about Musa. He seemed to be pretty heated during the post-game handshake. Do you know why?
Honestly, and I'm not being an asshole when I say this, but I don't have eyes behind my back. And I was clapping hands and shaking hands with coaches and players, and then I turned around and I just saw, there was some commotion behind me. So,
Thanks.